Welcome back to Ill Blur Matic. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Returning subscribers, thank you so much for returning and also supporting. Thank you so much. New supporters, welcome to the channel. If you like what you see, go and hit that subscribe button. I'm a versatile blur content creator, so let's get right into it. Ill Blurred I am, so let's get right into it. So today's new story time is the second time I took psychology. The first time I took psychology, I wasn't really satisfied with my grade. I can honestly say I remember the end of the semester, I was talking to my best friend at the time, and another one of my college classmates that I kind of grew close to. And I told them, I said, well, it's great that y'all, did extremely well in this class. I just didn't like our teacher, or I should say professor, excuse me, because it was like his tests were very complicated. He'll tell you one thing, then he'll do a whole completely 360. And like, I wasn't feeling that C, yo. I was not feeling the C. I was like, you know what? I know I can do better than a C in this class. So, I made a promise to myself. I said, you know what? I'm gonna take this class over again. So, during the end of that semester, because at the time, class is open for like that next semester when you're at a college. I looked online on campus because that was the campus I was mainly going to for college and stuff. And all they had was him. I said, I'm not going through that with him again. Absolutely not. So I looked and I just said, this is not happening. There's no way on Green's earth am I going to go back to his class, because I think he was the head of the psychology department at that actual campus. And I was just like, nope, can't do it. Because I looked on the website, I was scrolling down, I was like, and I'm like, dang, that's all they offering is him? So what happens next? Let's speed it up. So eventually I go to the other campus, because at the time I was going to two different campuses for community college. Word had got around that there was a psychology professor that was really good on campus. And sometimes just word of mouth and talking with other people on campus, you can learn information that you were unaware of. So I heard about this other actual professor due to my man's D. I'm definitely like thankful that I came across him, and also my coworker had mentioned that same professor, and I'm like, yo, I'm glad they mentioned it, you know what I'm saying? So what I do is, because this is like a few semesters later, I eventually look online, I go to the website, the college website and everything. I enter web gates with my student ID and then your password. And I was like, yo, I hope that this professor is like literally like open, because after a while classes get closed and you cannot get into that class. So I had my Birdman hand rib going on, like, please let me get this professor, yo. So I accessed the website, I got to the classes, I seen psychology. Luckily, at this campus, my previous professor wasn't there. Woo! I'm so glad of that. So I seen other professors. Then the one that my coworker mentioned, and also my man's D mentioned, I seen her up there twice. So I had to make a choice. I said, dang, when am I going to take classes? Because now remember, y'all, I'm a part-time worker and I'm a part-time student. So I had to figure out which type of option I was going to go with. So like the first option was earlier up, during the morning, which I'm not really a morning person to some degree, but then sometimes I am. And I was like, this morning don't sound bad. You know what I'm saying? The time just sound just about right. You know what I'm saying? I just had to get to campus at an earlier time. Then I see the other time, I'm like, oh no, like this not gonna work. Because at that time, I worked on Fridays, so it would have really kind of just been hard to like get to work, you know what I'm saying? So literally I chose the other option, the first option, morning classes. So let's get right into first day of class. What I loved about Miss B's class, I'm gonna just call her Miss B. it was a very interesting first day. You know what I'm saying? We introduced ourselves to her in class. We talked about the things that we're here for our college education. Everyone had a different response. Then I love that Miss B gave her introduction to the class or icebreaker. And I love that she talked how passionate she was. She talked about how long she's been in the field and everything. The first day was really nice. It was a very interesting first day because sometimes on the first day of your college class they're giving you a syllabus off the rip. We didn't get the syllabus until I would say the second day of class. I had a class twice a week. Second day, we get the syllabus. And the second day wasn't bad. We had like a little, we did some stuff. She had asked how many of us had our book. And also one thing I'm glad I didn't do was purchase the book right away. So pretty much after class, I got my psychology book. Then let's speed it up to the next week. So we start to learn about a little bit more about psychology. And what I loved about Miss B's class as a professor, she wasn't just straight textbook. You know how some professors just stick straight to the textbook? She wasn't that type of professor. Like, I remember there was a day in class, this was like a few days after, like maybe about 2 or 3 weeks into class, we had a discussion about psychology and the founding fathers of psychology, like Sigmund Freud, all these other people, and all of them are white people, pretty much. She let it be known. I'm glad that the people in class, because there were some white students in class, they weren't uncomfortable about her saying that. But pretty much she was talking about those are the founding fathers. We talked about conditioning in her class, you know what I'm saying, why we're conditioned to believe certain things, whether it was religion, political ideologies, that type of stuff. We also talked about some things with Mark Twain. So her class was very interesting. So literally, I would say towards the end, let me just speed it up. Towards the last remaining weeks of school, it was decent. You know what I'm saying? She kind of pretty much told us like, yo, I'm gonna tell you all your grades, what they are and stuff. Me, I wasn't worried because I came to her class every day. I only missed like one day out of class. And that's because I overslept and I thought that we were celebrating a holiday, but apparently we weren't. I remember that day I came back. She's like, yo, you weren't here. And I'm like, yeah, I thought it was a holiday for us too. And I fell asleep, you know, slept in that day. But pretty much in her class, towards the final weeks of class, she, like I said, she gave us our grade and everything. She told me, yo, you got an A. Just, you know, keep that A solid for the final. So week of final comes around and literally I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? I'm prepared. Like I said, her notes are very helpful. Then me remembering the class lessons, sometimes that definitely help. You know what I'm saying? If you are, depending on the type of learner that you are. Like I said, week of finals comes and, you know, I come to class prepared, man. You know what I'm saying? Got my number 2 pencil. We have our little Scantrons. You know, the little test sheets that y'all had that you got to fill in the dot. And she tells everyone to take everything off their desk. So I, you know, get prepared for the test and everything. And I'm just like, yo, this test is a breeze. It was like everything that we went over in class. It was no randomness like my previous professor with psychology where he was super random. And I was like, oh, like this test is going to be a breeze. It's final exam. So you know what I'm saying? I get there, I turn over the sheets, you know, me, I was just, like I said, some of the information came straight to me from our lessons because, like I said, I'm a very visual type of learner. So I was just like, oh, I remember this, I remember that. And I remember, you know, me being like the second person to be done with the test. And I remember Miss B told me, she's like, it was, you know, nice knowing you. And she's like, you know, you were one of my favorite students. I was like, oh my God, I was one of your favorite students. That meant so much to me, yo. And you know, she was definitely, it was a great experience. I will say that. You know, I gave her my test, my exam, left out the classroom. once, because I had a few of my friends in the class, they were like, "Hey, what did you think you did in the class?" I said, "Honestly, I know I got an A on that exam." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Why you say that?" I'm like, everything that we went over in class was what was on the exam. You know what I'm saying? Whether it wasn't textbook information or textbook information, she wasn't one of those type of professors that keep you guessing, trying to figure out like, I do this, I do that, do this, you do that, and you're just like, no. So my classmates like, I think I got a B. One person said, I think I got a C. I'm like, well, you know how far you've come in her class. She was fair enough to tell us what our grades was looking like before then, so you could either upgrade yourself to get a better grade or, try to push yourself forward. So let's talk about the progress. So I went to the website the day when grades got posted, because she told us during the exam, the day that it would be posted. Open up WebGate, the school website, by the way. And I was like, yes, I got an A out of this class. Oh my God, yo, y'all just don't know the relief. I was like, yo, because my other teacher was bugging. My other professor was bugging. I was so glad that, like I said, both people that told me about her class and stuff like that. Has that ever happened to you where you had to retake a class? Whether it was high school, whether it was college, you tell me in the comments, guys. Your boy Ill Blur. Man, guys, thanks for commenting. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for liking. Have a great day, guys. I'm out. The saga continues. Oh, yeah. Thank you for support.